Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the Post Route Show. And now, here's your host, W. Earl Kitchings.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Post Route. I'm your host, W. Earl Kitchings, and as we do on every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are talking with quarterbacks, both past and present, with some interesting conversations about not only their current situation, but just football and life in general. This show is proudly brought to you by Quarter Phi Back, the preeminent fraternity of Black quarterbacks and home of the prestigious BIP Memorial Trophy, the only national award that honors both the top Black quarterback from an HBCU and the top Black quarterback from high schools across America. We are always happy and pleased to be with you on each of our shows. And if you enjoy our content and what you are watching and like what we're doing and want to support us, hey, let me tell you what you can do, because it's very easy. Number one, you can hit the like button. Number two, you can subscribe to our channel. You can catch an episode. Even if you don't see it tonight, you can go back and catch an episode. We're on YouTube. Tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And check us out on Instagram at quarter_phi_back on our Instagram channel. Join us live every Monday night for more phenomenal conversations. Our guest tonight, hailing from the southeastern coast of the state of Florida, a young man who is going to be a senior this year and taking his talents from Lake Worth High to Park Vista High down in the Palm Beach County area. We're looking forward to our conversation with him tonight. But before we bring him to you, let's look at his highlights so you can get a feel for who he is and what he's capable of doing on the football field.
We must pay homage to him.
Please welcome my guest tonight, now at Park Vista High School down in Palm Beach County, Florida, Mr. Erik Lee Jr. Erik, welcome to the Post Route.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, and I'm looking at the highlights, and the first thing that I kind of pick up on is, oh, he's left-handed.
Yes, sir.
That is kind of different from the standpoint a lot of guys got to defend you a little differently because they not always used to seeing a guy left-handed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You make me think of Michael Vick. You make me think of Michael Vick with that left hand, man. Wow. So how was the season last year? What was it like for you last year? What were the challenges and what were the things that you felt good about?
Last season, it was a great season overall for me. I feel like I learned a lot through this season. Learned a lot for the past 2 years of being at Lake Worth. This year at Park Vista, I hope that we have a better team outcome. But I feel like me by myself, I feel like I had a very great season.
Now, how long have you been playing the quarterback position, Erik?
I've been playing quarterback since I could walk around, like 4 or 5 years old.
Oh man, you make it sound like your dad put a football in your hand, man, as soon as you could grab a football. That's something you've always had with you.
Yes, sir. I've been playing football for a long time coming now.
So when you were playing at the Pop Warner level, were you the quarterback then, or did you play some other position?
I played quarterback up until seventh grade. I started playing other positions like receiver, H back, tight end, DN. Just like my dad, he always told me that he wanted me to get a he wanted me to play multiple positions so I can learn the quarterback position well, so I can know how receivers react when how receivers want the ball thrown at them, how DNs are going to react when they see a quarterback doing this. So I just been playing multiple positions in seventh grade, and then I started just playing only quarterback my freshman year.
And being that you're left-handed, I know for punters, they say the ball comes off a left-footed punter a little bit different than a right-footed. Have you ever been told that your ball has a different kind of spin to it because you are left-handed versus right-handed?
Yes, sir. A lot of when I first got to Lake Worth, going into my sophomore year, they told me that I've never caught a ball from left-handed quarterback before, so it comes out differently. That's what a lot of the guys, and sometimes when I first got to Park Visit, some guys are saying that, but not a lot. But yeah, some they do tell me that it does come off differently.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. And of course, with right-handed guys, the right tackle, I'm sorry, the left tackle is the guy that they depend on. For you, it's the right tackle.
Yes, sir.
And what kind of relationship have you had with that right tackle position, man? Because he's critical to making sure you stay upright in the pass.
Yeah, Lake Worth, we had this one big right tackle. His name was Guy Thomas. He was about 6'7",
Yeah.
about 285. So, me and him, we always had a great relationship. When before going into every game, he always told me he has my back, and he always did. So I feel like always having a relationship with your O line is always important because those are the guys at the end of the day that are going to protect you up front.
What kind of things as a quarterback do you say to your O line to keep them motivated, man? Because as we all know, they don't get the headlines in the paper. They don't get the headlines on social media. They don't get the headlines. Now, let them mess up, they get headlines. But when they're
Yeah.
doing good, you barely know they're there. What kind of things do you say to your O line to kind of keep them motivated to do their jobs better?
After every touchdown I threw last year, after every rushing touchdown we had, if they're on the sideline, because at Liquid we had some guys playing both ways, but if they're on the sideline, I'm going up to them saying, "Hey, that drive was because of you. This was because of you." You always want to make those guys feel like they're also on the team too. Just because they mess up, you don't want to get down on them and all that. So after every big game we had, after every big explosive play we had, after every touchdown, they go to them, hey, say that was because of you kicking out the end. Hey, that was because of you for blowing up the nose guard, the 3 tech or the 1 tech, so on and so forth.
Well, I think those things are important, man, and I'm sure they appreciate you being the leader of the team, saying those things to them because uh, a lot of times they don't get love as they should, but definitely when things are going right, they get love. But when some things break down, they don't always get the love. So that's good to hear that you've kind of taken that into account. Let's talk a little bit about leadership. Being a quarterback, you've been in this role for quite a while now. What are a couple of things that you pride yourself on in doing for being a good leader at the quarterback position?
I pride myself of three things: accountability, because you got to hold yourself accountable, and you got to hold other guys around you accountable. Because if nobody's holding each other accountable, then it's not organized. You want to be responsible. You want to be a responsible leader. You want to put guys in check. You also want to be a respectful leader. You want guys to respect you. You don't want guys to just be doing everything else. So sometimes, yeah, you want to be cool with guys, but also you got to let them know that, hey, we're here for the main goals to win and get to a state championship. So those are the main three.
And you also told me about being a coachable guy. A
Yeah,
guy needs
coach.
to be not just a quarterback, but any athlete needs to be coachable.
Yes,
And
sir.
being a quarterback, you deal with the coaches a lot more than probably anybody else. So you being a coachable athlete is definitely important in your growth and your leadership path.
Yes, sir. Being a coachable guy, being a coachable, there's not even a quarterback, just being a coachable player in general is going to help you out way more because you're trying to rebuff what the coach is telling you. You're trying to fight back on what the coach is telling you. You're not going to get all the coaching. You're not going to get everything you need. But just being coachable, just doing what you need, just listening. Like that's why my coach, my offensive coordinator, my dad tells me you have two ears and one mouth for a reason. You need to listen twice as much as you talk. So yeah, those are just the things that I love. Like coachable, like just being coachable, bro. Like it's so good. It's so good for you.
Well, being that you got the luxury of having your father to be your OC, let's talk a little bit about what it's like for you to be the son of the OC from a father-son perspective, and you guys, just being able to, after the game is over, with most quarterbacks and their coaches, they go, the player goes home and the coach goes home. Y'all go different ways, but you and your dad, man, y'all after the game is over, it's like, okay, another session of learning and teaching going on. What's that been
Yeah,
like?
it's been good for the most part. I remember my first ever start. It was my freshman spring game. Like
Yeah.
after that, I'm thinking that I'm just gonna go home, lay down, just watch film in the morning. He comes in my room. He comes in my room saying, "Hey, we got stuff to do. We have to watch this film." So yeah, just watching. I feel like when as him as my OC, it's a plus because as soon as I get home, it's not lay down, watch, scroll on TikTok. It's take a shower. We're gonna eat and then we're gonna watch the film because on Saturdays we already had film. We already have film meetings, so just getting a view of what he's saying on the film is just so much better than just going going in Saturday, just watching film. I feel like with him just preparing me for film is like so much better.
Well, to have that relationship, man, is a big plus. And of course, you got a guy who you can go to him. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, Deion Sanders and Shadur. They got a different kind of bond. They got a different kind of vibe. They relate to each other differently. Uh, yeah, that's dad after the game and before the game. That's coach during the game. But we're still connected no matter what. So, do you kind of see yourself in that kind of situation with Deion and Shadur? You kind of see some of that or feel some of that when you see them together?
Yeah, we've actually picked up what they do. If you closely watch Shadir and Coach Sanders, they started at the 50-yard line. He walks down to the goal line as his dad, as his son. Then he's walking back to him as a coach. So we've also picked that up. We also started like just doing things like them, I would say. Like we just like, yeah, that's all I really got to say. Like we just really bond a lot like them.
And I know you can't for your dad, but I mean, I'm just curious, and I hope I get a chance to get him on a little before we go off air. But I'm just curious to hear his take on, being the OC to the quarterback that's his son, because that's kind of a different situation, and we don't oftentimes see coaches and son on the same team. They might be on different teams, but not always on the same team. So I'll save that question for him to to
He's uh
to give me
he
his insight on.
he's actually right here. He's actually
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
no. Don't bring him on yet. Don't bring
Yeah.
him on yet. No, no. This is gonna be me and you for right now. I get to him.
All right.
So um, now being that you've got a new situation, a new school, you got to make transition. You got to get familiar. You got to learn maybe a new playbook. You got to learn new players. What has the transition been like for you over the past couple of months, being going from one high school to Park Vista?
The transition so far, it's been very good. I feel like they welcome me in with open arms. Just like throwing with the guys on the weekends. We got to build that connection. Like we just can't be throwing in practice. We also got to be getting our own work in too. Because I feel like when we throw by ourselves, I understand what they're like. I understand they're breaking it off a little quicker. They're breaking it off a little later. They're breaking it off like at certain areas. So just getting those rough patches out the way now. So by the time spring ball comes, it will be just hitting the floor and we're running.
Yeah. Well, Erik, here's something to think about too. So when we talked about being coachable, that's between the player and the coach. But when you're out there working with your guys, you become the coach, and now you want those guys to be coachable as you're trying to, make us better. How have they responded to you doing those private sessions and you're instructing them or telling them things?
They responded, I say, pretty well. Like we're going in and we're throwing. Like if I get onto them, they know it's not just me being like, it's not me being mean. It's me like saying, hey, we need to get it this way. If we want to get where we want to get to, we have to run routes a certain way. We just can't. For instance, if we have a post route, you can't run a go. You can't run a corner. Like you have to run the routes the way that they drew up, because the coaches, they give us the blueprint. They give us everything we need to do. But us as players, we have to go out there and we have to execute.
Yeah. Well, that is a key word, execution, because I know there are some quarterbacks you look at and follow what they do. But then at the same time, you want your guys to be looking at receivers and looking at what they do in executing routes, how they catch the ball, how they can come back to tell you about, well, this guy's playing me this way when I get out here, he's playing me that way when I'm a little tighter. So those are things that, if they haven't been doing it, of course, that's where you come in and say, look, man, you need to pay attention, or you need to go look at some film of how some other guys are doing some things, because precision and execution will make everybody better, because we're executing, man, but we're not executing precisely,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What came to mind when you were saying that, man? I mean, I know we talk about a lot of quarterbacks, but I think there are a couple of guys who I will always say are probably some of the best route runners. First and foremost, who comes to mind is Jerry Rice. I don't think nobody did it better than Jerry. But but Jerry was a workaholic.
100%.
He was a workaholic, right? So he didn't just get to be like that just because. No, he was putting in the extra. So that's where you come in, because if you're working extra, your expectation is what?
If you're working extra, your expectations be higher than everyone else is around you.
That's right. And you're expecting them to work just as hard as you. So don't come out here, don't come out here slacking, man, because I'm going to be on you. And I can tell when you're slacking and when you're working, because it shows.
100%.
Absolutely. You told me that you had a few guys that you were really starting to feel comfortable with at the receiver position.
Yes,
you want to give a little shout out to some of those guys, because they like to get their name a little love from the quarterback too.
The guys I feel more comfortable with, we got Justice Jones. He just got offered by Florida Atlantic University. We got Jace Allison. He's a class of 2028 slot. We got Brody Wilson, class of 2028 slot. We got Deion Patrick. He's a class of 2029. He's gonna have a great season next year. We got Elijah Gamble. He's the running back that I was telling you about earlier. He just got offered by Florida Atlantic as well. So those guys are going to be the reason why we're going to have a great season this year.
Well, for you to already know them by name, man, and call them out like that, then that tells me you have done your homework, because now it's like, hey, man, and I'm gonna put the ball on you. So I don't want to hear no excuses about you can't catch my balls. I'm gonna put it on you. So and you also tell them you got a running back that's gonna kind of fill in the mix too.
Yes, sir. Elijah Gamble. He's gonna be I would say the staple of this offense. He's one of those guys that you can put at running back and they'll get a 20-yard gain on power, but he can also run routes too. You could put him at slot, you can run bubble screens, you can run him on like quick stuff. And in my opinion, I feel like he is one of the best backs in the county. In my opinion, he is one of the best backs in the county. He's one of those guys that you give him the ball in open space, they can just get going quick.
Okay. Now that you're at Park Vista, and I like to hone in on rival games. Does Park Vista have a rival team or school that they have that, man, when it gets to that game, things get turned up?
Yes, sir. Santa Lucia's High School.
Okay. All right. And who won that game last year?
Last year, Santa Lucia's won. They did win against them last year. It was 0-0 going into halftime, and then Santa Lucia just broke away. But I hope the outcome's gonna be different this season.
Okay. And will y'all be playing them at home?
It will be at Santa Lucia's.
Okay. Well, that's even better to beat them on their turf.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So as you have continuously grown as a quarterback, what have been some of the skills that you have worked harder on to be better? What are some of the things from a skill standpoint, have you really, really worked harder on to be better at?
After my sophomore season, it wasn't the best season for me. So I knew that I had to get the ball out quicker. I had to work on my anticipation. I had to work on my pocket maneuver, like we were talking about earlier. Just anticipation in general. As a quarterback, you got to be able to anticipate windows. You got to be able to throw before receivers break, pocket maneuver, just escaping out the pocket when things go bad in the pocket. So those are the two things that I really have worked on to get better at. Those are just the two things I really work to get better at. So those two.
I know I was looking at something. I think it might have been Tom Brady, and he was talking about a lot of people think that the power of a quarterback comes from arm strength, and he's like, it really doesn't come from arm strength. It comes from your hips.
Yeah, hips. It's a lot of hip band workouts. Do you
find yourself having to work on your footwork and hips a lot more now?
Yes, sir. I'll say also my sophomore year, my freshman and sophomore year, I think I was more of an arm thrower, throwing with my arm instead of throwing with my whole lower body. So I was working on like hip work, like hip. Also, what Tom Brady also said, hip first, arm second. All your power is going to come from the hips. So you're going to get those hips first, then throw the ball. So there's a lot of hip workouts, a lot of band workouts with the hips. You got to loosen up the hips. So, yeah.
And aside from your dad, do you also have a quarterback trainer that you work with?
Yes, sir. I've been training with Coach Garrett. He's the QB coach down in Broward, and he coaches that. He's the QB coach at Western in Broward County.
Okay. And how has that been going for you and him to be working out?
It's been going good. He just tells me that, like, what I was telling you, like, he helps me, like, work on my, like, footwork, working on getting the ball out quick, and just working on all the fundamentals. Because as a quarterback, if you don't got the fundamentals down, then you're just working from behind. So we just work on getting the fundamentals, just hip work, a lot of things like that.
Well, we have a mental performance specialist that we have a segment. How important for Erik Lee Jr. is the mental part of his be for you?
The mental part of the game, I'd say that quarterback is 50% mental, 50% physical. If you're not all the way there mentally, then physically you're not gonna play as well. That's why Coach Deion Sanders, he always said, you look good, you feel good, you play good, you play good, you pay good. So once you like get all those things down mentally, then the physical part will show. So yeah, as a quarterback, you got to be mental. You got to know the game. You got to know coverages. You got to know everything. You got to know from defense, D lineman alignments. You got to know from corner alignments, safety alignments. When safeties are going to roll, when safeties are going to go to the split for cover 2, when the back are going to drop in tempo 2. So yeah, quarterback is really mental. You know, I feel like the mental part of the game, quarterback, is the hardest part of the game because a lot of guys can't recognize stuff like that. A lot of guys can't recognize when the corner is going to blitz off the edge, or a lot of guys can't tell when the safeties are about to rotate. So the mental part is really important for me as a quarterback because I have to recognize when things are going to.
Yes, the point because you know when you're in game mode and you're standing back there in the shotgun, man, you got milliseconds to process. You don't have time to, you know, sit there and think about what's going on. Your eyes are watching and telling your brain the process, and you're having to process so quickly. One thing that I make a point of doing for myself, I call it, is a thing called critical thinking. And that's always think something light speed almost. You're thinking, you know, real fast to come up with a solution. And the faster you can think through it and come up with a solution, the better off you'll be because you don't have time to always think about what you got to do. So for a quarterback, you got to process faster than anybody.
Yes, sir. Way faster than anybody.
That part, man. Yeah, that part is so critical, man. So hear you say that you develop because important as you develop as your game and your skills and your whole aura being that quarterback develops because you know you got to process quickly and you got to see and read. I mean, reading, and then the other thing is from the processing standpoint of going through your progressions and making sure you're making the right decision. What do you think about the decision-making process of being a quarterback? How critical is that to you?
Decision-making as a quarterback,
making the right decision. How critical?
That's very critical. Like as a quarterback, you got to know, okay, we're up 10. You have a pass play called. 5 minutes left in the game. If nothing's open, throw the ball away. Like, you just got to know in certain situations, okay, if we're down 10, starting long, we got to make something happen. We can't just take a sack, you know. So I feel like you just got to know the game. You got to know what certain things are for certain times of the game.
Now, in a game where you're having to process that, is that something you kind of say to the team when you're in the huddle? It's 3rd down and 10. Hey guys, this is what we got to do. We got to get this done. Is that something, or is that the kind of way you might express it to your team so they feel the urgency of getting this done? Because we got to move the sticks, man. We're not trying to go for the big ball. We got to get these 10 yards. We can think about something else after we get this first down.
100%. Because God, when I be in the huddle with them, in certain situations, we're down 10, 4th quarter, 5 minutes left. I say, we got to do this. We didn't come this far for no reason. We got to do this. We got to get the first down, convert. We got to get the first down, convert. Also, when we're up 10, I tell my guys, don't do nothing stupid with the football. Don't do nothing stupid with the football at all. So, like, I feel like I'm a good communicator with my guys around me where, hey, we're down 10. Get something. 3rd and long, get something. You know, so, yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, because penalties are either drive extenders or drive killers. Yep. And it's one of those things, man. We 3rd down and 10 and somebody jumps offside, man, you put us in a bad situation. We got to change what we got to do now, as opposed to, getting the other team to make a mistake. So yeah, I get that. I'm getting ready to take my commercial break, man, and I'm gonna come back to you. We're gonna talk a little bit more football after we do this break. All right.
All right, yes, sir.
Also, at this time, we do our segment, the mental performance segment called Psyched Up. So take a look at that, because I'm gonna ask you something about that when we come back. All right. My guest tonight from Park Vista High School in Broward County, Florida, Mr. Erik Lee Jr., the quarterback who is looking to carry Park Vista. So he says they want to go to the state. Everybody wants to go to the state, but it requires work. So we're going to come back and talk to him after we do this quick timeout. Before we get to our psyched up moment, let me tell you, if you have not gotten one, you can now get you one of the hoodies, our new quarter-five bag hoodie. Our store is up and running. So you go to our website at quarter5back.com, click on the store, put your order in to get your hoodie with our logo on it, or you can get your t-shirt, and you can order directly through our website on our store, pay for everything right there, and we will get that out to you ASAP. The other thing that's on our store is a copy of my book, The Forgotten QBs, the little known history, information, and statistics about black quarterbacks in American college football. That's about guys you may have not heard about, or some you have heard about, from 1903 to 1990. Our next book will cover 1991 to the present. But get you a copy of my book, The Forgotten QBs. It's $35. Shipping is free on all our orders. Anything you order from us, shipping is free. Go to quarter5back.com to our store and get your copy of our book. Now, what we're going to bring you right now is our mental performance specialist, Dr. William Kitchings, with this edition of Psyched Up.
What you excuse today becomes your expectation tomorrow. I'm Dr. William Kitchings Jr., and this is Psyched Up. Don't brush past that, because every standard you relax today quietly sets the bar for who you'll be under pressure later. Last session, we talked about identity, who you're becoming before anyone sees it, what you reinforce when it's quiet. But identity is internal. Standards are visible. Identity shapes who you believe you are. Standards determine how you actually operate. And performance research makes this clear. Behavior doesn't consistently follow intention. It follows the minimum standard that's reinforced. You don't get what you preach, you get what you permit. And behavioral science adds something critical. Under stress, people default to their most practiced patterns, not their highest aspirations. So when competition arrives, you don't suddenly elevate, you express what you've been repeating, accepting. That's why standards matter, because standards remove negotiation. If your standard is we finish every rep through the line, then you finish, no discussion. If your standard is we're early, not on time, then you're early, no exception. Standards create consistency, consistency builds trust, trust sustains performance. Here's the work for the next 2 weeks. Choose one non-negotiable standard, not 5, 1. Maybe it's competing on every rep, even in warm-ups. Maybe it's correcting a teammate respectfully in real time. Maybe it's how you respond internally after a mistake. Define it clearly enough that someone can measure it, then enforce it, especially when it's inconvenient. Because what you tolerate becomes your baseline, and your baseline shows up when it matters. I'm Dr. William Kitchings Jr., and this is Psyched Up, a space built for the moments behind the moments.
Thank you, Dr. William Kitchings Jr. The idea of standards, talking about what to do consistently, becomes your baseline. And then the next thing is, what is the one standard that you'll try to bring to your team each and every day? I'm going to welcome back my guest, Mr. Erik Lee Jr., rising senior at Park Vista High School down in Palm Beach County, Florida. Erik, welcome back to the Post Route.
Thank you for having me.
So, Dr. Kitchings talked about standards and consistency. What has been something that you have kind of made a consistent pattern, or something that you do repetitiously the same way all the time, being an athlete?
Consistently, I'd say hitting the weight room, throwing 4 times a week, lifting 5 times a week, being on the track, getting faster 4 times a week, and most importantly, nutrition. You know, as an athlete, we work so hard day in and day out, and we sometimes forget to nutrition our bodies to get our bodies back to where it needs to be. So those are the 4 things I do consistently. I say nutrition, working out, throwing, lifting, things like that.
So let's start with things that you take in to recover from grinding a long practices. What are some of the foods or drinks or a combination of the two that you like to replenish your body with?
After a long workout, I'd say to drink, I either get a electrolyte drink, Body Armor, Powerade, things like that, and to eat, really any type of protein with carbs, water, things like that. Protein shakes, granola bars, creatine, most importantly.
Okay. And when you get home, what kinds of foods are you trying to stay away from, or what foods are you really trying to take in more of?
I'm trying to stay away from candies, junk food, chips, stuff like that. I'm trying to stay away from that, but I'm trying to intake more protein, chicken, beef, rice, bread, stuff like that. In the morning, I try and make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before I go off to school, and a protein shake, stuff like that. I try and take more of those instead of the Lay's chips, instead of the Skittles and stuff like that.
And when you get to school and you get to the cafeteria for lunch, are you staying mindful of what they have for lunch, or do you take a lunch to school?
I eat the school lunch. My school that we have, they have options. You know, you get chicken with French fries, or you can get mozzarella sticks, or you can get soup. They even have chicken noodle soup at the school. But also, if I'm not in the mood for none of that, the school also does give us Uncrustables, the mini peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I'll just get that with a chocolate milk and a juice and an applesauce.
And during the course of lunch, are you really kind of loading up on your lunch intake, or you just, because you know you're gonna burn it off, you know, depending on what I don't know what time you might go to lunch, but I mean, if you go to lunch around 11:30, practice starts at 2:30, 3 o'clock, man. By the time you get there, man, you're burning stuff off real quick. So do you kind of load up so that you've got enough to carry you through practice, or you kind of eating light and then, you know, that's not working out?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I try and load up a little bit. You know, I ask people around, yo, do you want your chocolate milk? Do you want your Uncrustable? Do you want your chicken tenders, stuff like that? Because, like, practice, we eat lunch at 11:30, and we're not getting home till about 6:30. So that's 7 hours of me not eating at all. So I just try and load up so I can fuel for practice and be 100% for practice.
Well, that sounds real common to me, man, because during my time in high school, we used to buy what we call a double. You had, you know, one lunch cost, you know, say, I know this is going to sound crazy to you at this time, man, but a full lunch used to cost 50 cents.
That's
and
not
that was
bad.
a plate. That was
But now
that was a plate of food. That was that might have been milk, huh?
Now at my school, it's called Palm Beach County, everyone eats free. Around my school, where I'm close to, everybody eats free now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can't beat free,
Yeah.
but the thing about free is they only let you get one. You can't get two. We used to
Can't
buy
get
two
to.
lunches, man. We would buy two lunches because
Mhm.
you get, by the time you get to practice and you start working out, man, that stuff burns off. So we make sure we doubled up, man, and so it'd be two milks, two juices, two plates, everything was two of, and it's not like you were pigging out, but that was just kind of the way we did it. But free, you get one, and that's it. You can't
Yeah.
get doubles.
I wish
So
we could
yeah,
get that.
exactly. That's the drawback. We could get some guys. Let me tell you, Eric. Let me tell you what some guys used to do. Some guys, man. You know how you got friends that ask you, "Hey, man, let me borrow a nickel, let me borrow a dime or something." I mean,
Yeah.
I know that don't sound like a lot nowadays.
Mhm.
So, guys, man, you might have enough. Say a lunch 50 cents. You might have 60 cents. You might have $1, and you give a guy enough so he can buy a lunch because you're not going to eat a double today because you're lending him money. And then you look around, man, this guy got like a triple. He got like 3 plates. He got
Crazy.
3 of everything. And you looking like, man,
I just
it's like he's borrowed money from everybody, man. And
facts.
that used to be crazy. But yeah, we would kind of load up on game day. What time is the game day meal? What time do y'all eat before games?
We eat about 3:30, 4 o'clock ish. Cause
And
our
what
game
is kind of,
because
go
our
ahead.
games are because our games are at 6:30, so we eat about 3:30, 3:45 ish. I say around there.
Yeah. And what has kind of been the norm of the foods that y'all eat for pre-game meals?
Spaghetti, salad. A lot of it was just really last year, just straight spaghetti salad with a roll of bread. It would just be like that with like ranch dressing. You would get a Gatorade, water, things like that.
So what with the spaghetti, was it just spaghetti sauce, or did they give you like some chicken with that or something like that to go with it?
Yeah, we'll have ground beef in it. We'll have ground beef. We also had an option of chicken parmesan as
Oh,
well.
okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because that pasta, man, is definitely the food to have for a pregame meal, man, because a lot of carbs are in that, and that's what you need to be working on. So, okay. All right. Well, some things, when things are working, things are working. Let me ask you a question now, because this has really been kind of interesting to me. When guys get cramps on your team, what do they drink when they get cramps? I'm just curious.
Water, Gatorade, sometimes pickle juice. It varies to how bad they feel like the
Okay,
cramp
there you
is.
go. There you the third one was the one I wanted to see if you said that one, because that was not something we used to drink, when we cramped up, man. Get some water, get some salt, but the pickle juice basically is like salt tablets or whatever, man. But
Yeah.
I've never done it, but it seems like that pickle juice, man, it replenishes your body real fast to get that cramp off you.
Yeah. It
Okay.
really works a lot. I remember I used
I
to
got
cramp
you.
a lot. I used to cramp a lot, and it helped me a lot.
Well, part of that too, man, is guys don't like to stay hydrated during the course of the day. On game day, you should just be hydrating all day long, man, because that stuff, you're going to burn it off so fast, man. But, some
100%.
guys just hard-headed, man. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. And when they're all cramped up, like, see, you should have drank
I
that water
told you.
earlier today, man. Yeah, I got you. So let's talk a little bit about some of the guys who you aspire to look up to as far as quarterbacks. And I couldn't really tell what number were you wearing last year?
I was wearing number 8 last season.
Never. I was going to ask you about your number, but never mind. I know what that 8 means. Never mind. And that 8 normally means that guy who plays with Baltimore.
Yeah.
But who are some of the quarterbacks you think are who do some outstanding things and you look up to?
I look up to Shadur Sanders. I reached out to him one time going into my sophomore year. He actually hit me back. He was
Yeah.
basically telling me to, stay consistent, keep doing you, keep being consistent, like we were talking about earlier. But I'll also like to watch, CJ Stroud, his poise, Patrick Mahomes, the way he creates, Cam Ward, the way he's just able to turn nothing into something. So those are the 4 quarterbacks that I like watch a lot.
Well, you're one of the rare guys that kind of left Lamar Jackson out of the mix, man. So I'm not asking you to talk about Lamar. I'm just saying most guys, they will say Lamar Jackson. But, yeah, those 4 guys are extremely good. I'm curious. You said Cam Ward, and Cam Ward definitely showed everyone when he was at Miami what he could do. But, when you get to the pros, man, everything's faster. Everything's faster. So it's not the same. What specifically about Cam Ward do you like?
I love Cam Ward's. He's able to turn nothing into something. I like the way how he maneuvers the pocket. I like the way how he's just able to anticipate tight window throws and just make the tight window throws. He makes hard throws look easy. So I just like to watch him and stuff. I just love the way how he just like operates as a quarterback.
Well, as I was watching some of your clips, man, I mean, because you're left-handed, man, at times I could kind of see some Patrick Mahomes in you at sometimes when you was delivering that football, especially when it was coming from the guys off the left coming across the field, and you were hitting them right up under those defensive linemen arms, man. I was like, okay, because that's a tight window. But, man, were you delivering the ball? Yes, you were. Yes, you were. So, absolutely, man. I was like, okay. So, yeah, that left-handed guy. Now, what kind of speed do you have in the 40, Erik?
40, I run a 4.8.
Okay. That sounds good. I know you're working on getting that down to about a 4.6. So I know you're working on that part, but you're probably not trying to take off very often. But that's all good, man. What other sports do you play?
I play basketball and I also play baseball. I was actually
what position you play in baseball?
Baseball, I'm play first base. I also pitch and also play center field.
Okay. You like pitching?
Yes, sir. Pitching, well, like last season, I was pitching and throwing, so it used to kind of tire my arm out a bit. But now I'm able to pitch, and I'm able to pitch and throw because I fixed the way I was pitching.
Oh, okay. Okay. What you said you fixed it. So what did you do? I mean, what did you do to fix that, get that better?
I used to pitch, I was more up here throwing it. Now I just brought it like a little lower, I'd say, because like it was turning on my shoulder. So I brought it down a little lower, I'd say.
I got you.
But I'm not playing baseball this year due to the transfer rules. I'm not able to really play any sports. I'm able to practice with the team for spring ball, but I can't play like in no games due to transfer rules.
But that doesn't keep you from doing those 7-on-7s though.
No, sir, not at all.
Okay. When we talk about guys getting better with their skills and talents, I know a couple of things that guys are doing. They're going to some of these elite quarterback camps. Have you been going to any of those? And if you have, where have you gone?
I haven't been to any one of the elite quarterbacks, like the Elite 11. I haven't been to that yet. But I have been going to some college camps. I've been to FAUs. I've been to Kaisers. I've been to University of North Carolina, Pembroke. I've been to a couple of those camps.
Okay. Were those helpful for you?
They're very helpful for me. It was able for me to get my name out there. It was able for me to just show the coaches that the type of quarterback I am and pick up some new things, pick up some new techniques, those type of things.
All right. And the reason I ask is because when we've had an opportunity to go to a strictly a quarterback camp, that's one thing. My son and I attended a Under Armour combine, and I told him we are never, ever, ever going to a combine again. When they got all the positions out there, linemen, linebackers, running backs, defense, it was just too much. I mean, I don't know what was the point. I really didn't understand what was the point, because you can't really teach anybody anything. All you're doing is going through drills, basically. And I was like, being that we were there for quarterbacks, I was like, it was about maybe 70 quarterbacks there. So I was like, that doesn't look to be too good for a guy if I came here to learn some things.
With that many quarterbacks, it's going to be hard to try and get some reps. It's hard to get reps when it's 70 quarterbacks, and it's going to be hard to try and stand out when it's with 70 guys.
And it was. And there were parents yelling at their kids about, get some reps, get some reps. One dad said, one guy done 5 and you hadn't done 1. Get in there and get some reps, because his dad was getting frustrated because the kid standing on the sideline. And one kid said, well, I'm waiting on my quarterback. It's like, you're waiting on your quarterback? Dude, you're trying to get some reps. Forget your quarterback. Get some reps. But
it's a lot of guys like that.
It was frustrating for me. I mean,
it's a lot of guys like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of guys like that. A lot of guys, they just trying to steal reps. They trying to hold off for somebody else. It's like there's a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah, because one of the things I said, well, what if your quarterback gets hurt? Now what you gonna do?
Exactly. Quarterback gets hurt.
No more reps. You're not. Yeah. I mean, you waiting on your quarterback. Okay. All right. Well, look, I need for your dad to come in here for a second. You don't have to leave, but I just want him to come in. I got to get him in here for a minute, man. We had such a great conversation when we talked before, man. So I want to make sure I get Big Big Erik. Hey, Erik, how we doing tonight, man?
Pretty good. How we doing?
How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
I'm doing great, man. Always glad to chop it up with the son. And when I can get a parent in here, man, I like to bring them in too, man. I like to show them some love and let them know we appreciate them. We appreciate them.
Yes, sir.
As I was asking him earlier, I want you to just, from your perspective, just share what it's like, man, and to be the coach, father of a quarterback at this day and time, being that your son is going into his senior year. What is that like for you?
Well, this is about year 18 coaching for me. I've been doing this for a long time. This is my first, the past 3 years is my first year that my quarterback has been my son, but it's a pretty unique experience, man. And like I said, I think anybody who's been on the teams that we've been on, it's a lot of trying to separate the two, like on the practice field. That can be kind of the biggest thing.
Right.
I mean, the same voice telling him to take out the chains is also the same voice telling him the safety's flat-footed and we got to throw the post route. So, it kind of makes it a little interesting. Interesting.
I get it.
Practice. Yeah.
I get it.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's a good deal. I'm proud of him. He works hard. He's been.
I asked that, man, because you're the. Well, that's good, man, because it's important. I mean, because you have to keep it separate to a point, but then again, at the end of the day, that's still father-son.
Yes, sir.
It's still father-son. So you have to always kind of, keep that in mind. But being the son of a coach myself, let me tell you, man, you're always wanting to exceed expectations, or at least live up to expectations, because not that you want to let your dad down, but you don't want to let your dad down.
Yeah, 100%.
So, well, I think it's a beautiful thing that, the two of you can collaborate. So So did you coach him last year in high school?
Yes, sir. I was when I took over, I was a head coach at Lake Worth High School. I took over and I brought in a freshman quarterback that happened to be my son for the first 2 years, and then I resigned that position in December. You know, things couldn't get to where I needed to see where I wanted them to be as a head coach.
Yeah.
So just, you know, my experience in the game told me that it's time to move on. Done all I can do. So when we left, we played Park Vista when we were at Lake Worth. My first win as a head coach actually was over Park Vista, our first year at Lake Worth. But as preparing for them last year,
Okay.
Park Vista had everything except the quarterback. And, you know, it just seemed like to be a comfortable fit for the two. They were excited to have him. They were excited also to bring me over as a play caller. Like I said, I've been calling plays forever. So the fact that I can bring in a guy who's been actually in this system probably since he was 5 years old. As soon as he could walk, he was on our sideline as a ball boy, and I was in Pensacola. So he's been around the game for so long, and just became a natural fit. So I thought, I mean, the move to Park Vista has been a heaven sent, I think, for both of us. For the simple fact, I think the atmosphere there, the amount of coaches we have there, I really feel like it's an administration that really pushes football. They really love football, and they'll do anything for football, and that's important. It's an important piece of it when deciding to do this. So, like I say, a decision that was made, but it was, you know, it had to be both of us. So I'm excited about it, and I think we're going to be in for a bright season this year.
Well, trust me, man, I'm going to be keeping up with you guys, man, to make sure Park Vista is doing their job down there and making sure that, you know, it's a good season, because I'm just curious to see how this experiment is going to work out. But I know it's going to work out because I know you're a quality guy, and I know you're going to do everything you can to not only coach him up, but to support him to make sure he's doing what he needs to do. So thank you very much for being dad. Thank you very much for being OC. And just thank you very much for being a quality leader, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So, Erik, no problem. So, Erik, we get to this point in the show, man, where, you know, this is my favorite part, where we tell you what this all means.
Yeah.
And by you being my guest, our guest on our show tonight, it now brings you into what we call the brotherhood. And it makes you now a part of the fraternity called Quarter Phi Back. So what we like to tell you is, by you being with us tonight on the show, you are now a member of the fraternity known as Quarter Phi Back and a member of the Brotherhood of Black Quarterbacks. And so congratulations, and we're honored to have you to be a part of what we're doing.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is once we go off air, I want you to just stick around for a minute because I need to get some information. But going forward, man, this is something that we really are you know, all in with. And we just want to make sure that everyone understands that we do this not because of anything other than preserving a legacy, so that our history of being Black men doing the job that you got to do as quarterback continue. So we just want to keep this moving forward. As a matter of fact, the first guy who won our award was Shadur Sanders.
For real?
For real.
That's good.
So I'll send you the flyer on that. I'll send you the flyer. But what we're going to do is we're going to get you out your lifetime membership certificate and your letter to go along with that by email. And then we've got a special gift packet we're going to send you. We make sure everybody get a lapel pin. So thank you again.
All right. Thank you.
All right. My guest tonight has been the rising senior over at Park Vista High down in West Palm Beach, Mr. Erik Lee Jr. So until next time here on the Post Route, thanks to our crew. And until next time, Monday at 7 o'clock, as we always say, go deep and go for the bomb. See you next Monday night, everybody.